early 1940s, a quiet stretch of farmland in East Tennessee suddenly disappeared from the map. No public announcement, no newspaper coverage, just fences, guards, and a city rising out of nowhere. This is the secret early history of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, one of the most extraordinary and hidden chapters in American history. In 1942, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers quietly surveyed a rural area of Anderson and Roane counties. The population consisted of farming families, many of whom had lived there for generations. By fall, letters began arriving at doorsteps. Your land is being acquired for a government war project. You must leave within weeks. More than 1,000 families were forced out. Some were given just 2 weeks to pack their belongings and leave behind homes, barns, churches, and cemeteries. The government acquired nearly 59,000 acres, paying families an average of $45 an acre, far below market value. Many residents felt blindsided and betrayed, but no one could be told why this was happening. By the end of the year, the land was fenced off, roads were blocked, checkpoints went up. The region they once called home was transformed into the largest secret construction zone in the country. Within months, thousands of construction workers arrived. They built roads, housing, laboratories, and enormous industrial plants, all under strict secrecy. Entire neighborhoods appeared almost overnight. Prefabricated homes, government dormitories, schools, cafeterias, hospitals, recreation halls, and baseball fields. By 1945, Oak Ridge had become the fifth largest city in Tennessee, yet it did not appear on any map. The population exploded to more than 75,000 residents, all living behind guarded gates. To the outside world, it was only known as Site X, or the Clinton Engineer Works. Life inside Oak Ridge was unlike anywhere else in America. Every resident, scientist, nurse, teacher, clerk, mechanic signed security oaths. They could not discuss their jobs, where they worked, or what they saw. Mail was inspected, phone calls monitored, photography was restricted, even bus routes between plants were classified. Workers rode with blackout curtains pulled down so they couldn't see where they were being taken. Families lived in rows of similar alphabet houses, simple, quickly built homes designated A, B, C, D, and so on. Despite the strict control, the city was surprisingly lively. There were dances, concerts, schools, and bustling commercial centers. Yet no one truly knew what the city was doing. Rumors spread that the government was making synthetic rubber, experimental metals, radar equipment, medical isotopes, and a whole lot more, but the truth was far more consequential. Inside the massive industrial buildings, the X-10 graphite reactor, Y-12, and K-25, workers were unknowingly helping create the world's first atomic weapons. Oak Ridge's plants enriched uranium using methods that had never been attempted at this scale. Electromagnetic separation, gaseous diffusion, thermal diffusion, and the X-10 reactor, the first continuously operating nuclear reactor in history. K-25 was one of the largest buildings ever constructed at the time. By mid-1945, Oak Ridge produced the uranium-235 used in the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. What's remarkable is that most workers didn't know the purpose of their labor until August 6, 1945, when President Truman announced the Hiroshima bombing. Residents poured into the streets, shocked, proud, conflicted, emotional, finally understanding the secret they had unknowingly lived inside. Despite the city's high-tech mission, Oak Ridge reflected America's social struggles. Black workers were restricted to segregated hutments, cramped, poorly insulated wooden shacks, while most white workers lived in modern, government-built homes. Security rules were strict. Armed guards controlled access, and unauthorized travel between plants could lead to arrest. Every aspect of life was regulated, from employment to housing assignments. Oak Ridge was a mix of innovation, sacrifice, secrecy, and inequality, an entire world built on urgency. By war's end, Oak Ridge had become the heart of the Manhattan Project, producing materials and scientific breakthroughs that reshaped global history. What began as farmland seized under a veil of secrecy became one of the most important scientific sites in the world. This is the early history of Oak Ridge. America's Secret City. Please stay tuned for part 2 of the series. If you enjoy content like this, please subscribe for more or follow me on TikTok.